Hey guys, welcome back to the Destinations channel. I'm Sal Patera. I'll be your host for the next 15 or so minutes. And today we're going to talk about the things on a cruise ship that the crew absolutely hates that passengers do. Some of them are funny. Some of them are, well, just rude. And some of them might get your favorite crew member fired and a plane ticket back home. We're going to go over all of those when I come back right after this. Welcome back, guys, and thanks for staying through the intro. As always, if you're new to our channel or if you just haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell notification. That way YouTube will let you know every time we upload a brand new video. So today we're going to talk about those things that passengers do that the crew absolutely hates when you're on board. And I got to admit, working on a cruise ship, a lot of these I hate as well. So let's go through them. Okay, one of the first things that people do, and believe it or not, this is done all the time, is that people come on board and they refer to the crew as, quote, the workers.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Didn't mommy and daddy show you enough attention?
The crew hates this. Either call them the employees or the crew. That they don't mind, of course, but when you just refer to them as the workers, it's just kind of degrading and they really don't enjoy it. So remember, it's either crew or staff or employees, but never the workers. Another thing that passengers do, and they do this all the time, and if you stand by guest services for any length of time, I promise you will see it. And that is demand compensation for stupid little things that might go wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're only boarding rows 9 and above right now. You'll have to wait. Please step aside, sir.
It's just one row. Don't you think it's okay if I...
We'll call your row momentarily. Thank you for waiting. We'd like to continue boarding the aircraft now. We're now boarding all rows, please. All remaining rows.
I mean, I've seen people that literally the toilet didn't flush and they had to call somebody to put a plunger in the toilet. Wanted compensation for it, or they didn't like a specific show. They want compensation for it. You name it, believe it or not, people are down there demanding compensation from guest services. And they don't do it in the nicest way either. So be nice to guest services and please don't demand compensation for everything because the cruise line will get to know who you are. Every time you go to guest services and complain, it is written on your account. That little VIFP number that you get with Carnival or the other lines loyalty programs also connects you to the cruise line to record everything that you do. So if you're a constant complainer, you can bet that the cruise lines know. This next one is kind of a small thing, and I really don't understand why people do it, is they go to guest services and beg for upgrades as soon as they get on board. Even when they have a sign right there on the counter that says the ship is full, they still go to the counter and beg for that upgrade. And a lot of times won't even believe guest services when they say the ship is full. Or they say something like, well, what about those rooms you hold in case of an emergency? Those things don't exist. So save yourself time, save yourself an hour from standing at guest services, trying to get an upgrade that absolutely does not exist. Okay, this next one is a pet peeve of mine. Everybody loves a tip on a cruise ship for a job well done. But what we don't hate, what the crew can't stand, is when you flash money to try and get extra services like you're some kind of big shot. And then half the time, you'll accommodate them just because you want to accommodate them, and they still don't give you the money. So stop flashing cash on board. It's degrading. It's not right. You wouldn't do it at a Walmart to get what you want. So don't do it on board a cruise ship. I'm telling you, it's not looked at nicely. The next thing the crew hates is stupid questions. Like, stop asking the crew, do you live on board? Of course they live on board. Do you think they have a private helicopter or a jet ski standing by to take them to the mainland after work every night?
Can I pour you a draft, Mr. Peterson?
A little early, isn't it, Woody?
For a beer?
No, for stupid questions.
So think about the questions you're going to ask the staff before you start asking the really dumb ones that they probably get over and over and over. The staff loves you. They love being asked questions, just not the really stupid ones. Here's something you wouldn't do on land, but believe it or not, it happens to crew all the time, is you'll ask them about their salary, how much they make on board, how they get paid. Personal questions like that are really none of your business.
No!
You're there to enjoy your vacation, not to find out what the staff is getting paid. You wouldn't do it at home to somebody you just met and ask them, at the car dealership, hey, how much money did you make last year? It's rude. Just don't do it. Here's another one that is a pet peeve to every crew member, I promise you. And I know that a lot of people think it's funny, is don't return late to the ship. Don't be one of those pier runners that are running for the ship. Yeah, we make a joke out of it and, everybody applauds when you do it and kind of makes a fool out of you. But when you're late returning the ship, the entire ship has to adjust its schedule because the schedule on the ship is literally planned out minute by minute by minute. So if that ship has to leave late because of you, everybody has to adjust their schedule, even their sleep schedule, because some of them will have to go to bed later and get up earlier in the morning to make up for the extra hours that the ship has to sail because you decided to be late. Speaking of ports, when you miss a port due to weather or mechanical reasons, stop blaming the staff. The crew is not responsible for missing ports. There's a lot of reasons why you might miss a port, but I promise you, your room attendant is not the reason.
And not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Stop blaming the staff for anything that might go wrong, like missing a port on board a cruise ship. It's not their fault. All right, here's a kind of funny one, and I hear this all the time from crew members, is karaoke. Yeah, everybody loves karaoke. I get it. I don't personally, but I know a lot of people do. But the one song that the crew hears more than anything else is Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
So good. So good.
Stop singing it on board. Just don't do it. Regret the urge. Just hold back. And I promise we'll love you for it. Here's one that the chefs on board hate, and it's just wasteful, is you can order as much food as you want on board the ship. In the main dining room, you can get 2 or 3 meals. They're smaller portions. You can go to the buffet. You can go up as often as you like and get more food. But stop taking more food than you can possibly eat.
Best $1.49 buffet in town, Clark. Clark, this is all you can eat. We only need one plate.
I know on one cruise I was on a couple of years ago, we had a line waiting for the fish and chips, the fried fish. And it was about a 15-minute wait because they're making this fish as people come up. And we wait about 15 minutes and this chef comes out and he puts probably 15 pieces of fried fish in the container. And the lady in front of me decides that she's going to put all 15 pieces of those fried fish on one plate. And of course I said something to her. And she says, oh, I got a family over there and I'm taking it for everybody. Sure, no problem. But then 15 or 20 minutes later, I'm passing by that table and wouldn't you know, 3/4 of that fish were still sitting on the table because she decided she needed enough for everybody that nobody wanted. So just take as much as you can eat, but don't take the food that you can't eat. You can always make a second trip up to the buffet. Okay, the next one is sneaking cigarettes in places that are non-smoking. Yes, most cruise ships now are non-smoking in most areas, but there are areas for smoking. Now, I get it. I used to smoke cigars. I loved my cigars, and I hated that there wasn't enough areas. But believe me, the crew knows when you're smoking in an area. You're a smoker. You don't realize the smell, but non-smokers do. And the crew is mostly non-smokers because they live in a non-smoking environment. Now, when you smoke in that area, it leads for extra cleaning for them. The reason why is if the captain or the hotel director walks around and they smell smoke in an area, the person designed to clean that area is obviously not doing their job to make it smell like a non-smoking area. So smoke in the smoking areas, don't try to sneak it. You will be caught. Just don't do it. The next one, and granted, this one isn't so much anymore because it's gotten really easy to do this post-COVID, but that is insisting on ways to skip the muster drill. I've literally seen people hiding under their beds not to go to the muster safety drill.
A mistake. Or did he do it to us on purpose? Because I really want to know. Because if it's a mistake, maybe we could do something about it.
And today it's a little bit easier to go to because they don't last as long. A lot of them is done on the app on your phone. So it's a really quick process, but people still try to skip it. I can't fathom why. The cruise ship cannot go anywhere until everybody has attended that safety drill. So don't skip it and go to the drill. All right, this last one is probably the most important, and I see this happen on every single cruise, particularly the bartenders for some reason. So you go on a cruise and you meet that one crew member who really enjoys talking to you. You really enjoy talking to them. And over the course of the week, you get to know each other. But there's a line that you have to have. The crew has a very strict no fraternization policy. If they get caught fraternizing with you off the cruise ship, they will lose their job. And I don't mean like with warning, they will lose their job immediately.
So I'll give you a word of advice. You suck. Turn in your hippo juice bucket, your hippo crystals, and your hippo pipe. You're fired.
So the crew is actually very, very careful. I promise you, you are not going to hook up with a crew member on board a cruise ship. It's just not going to happen. So stop asking your favorite crew member for their home phone number, for their email addresses. Don't do it. Stop looking for them in port. If you find a crew member in port, you're most likely to have a very short conversation with them. They're not trying to be rude to you, even if you talk to them regularly at the bar. They're just making sure that they don't get in trouble for fraternizing with a guest. It's very, very important. It is one of the most strict rules. Because of that, they are very careful. But you have to be careful too, because if you lead the impression that you're closer than you should be to that particular crew member, and one of their seniors happens to hear a conversation or think they're getting a little too friendly, you're actually going to get your favorite crew member in trouble. And I don't think you really want to do that. So stop over fraternizing with the crew. I promise you, like I said, you're not going to hook up with them.
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
That's it. Those are the things off the top of my head that I know the crew can't stand that people do on board a cruise ship. Do you have other things that you think the crew can't stand? Let me know in the comments down below. I look forward to reading them, and I'll see you very soon up on the Lido deck.